Welcome to our grant writing module. Grants are an amazing source of revenue for organizations, but we need to know where to look for them, where they are, and how to apply for them. In 2018, just to give you an idea of the money that's out there, 2018 charitable contributions, over $400 billion in charitable contributions. Those coming from foundations and corporations have both seen large increases over the past few years. So, comparing to 2017 and to 2018, foundational giving has increased over 7%, and corporation giving has increased nearly 5.5%. So we want to take advantage of this charitable giving. There's money out there. All we do have to do is apply for it. So there are a few steps we're going to highlight here in the grant writing process. There are also steps after we have a grant funded in terms of maintaining that grant. But in the application process, we'll highlight 8 steps. One is to identify the project, the program that you want to have funded. We're going to research where that funding may come from. We're going to communicate both within our organization and our internal stakeholders and potential different departments that might be able to help us out with this grant proposal. We're also going to communicate with funding sources themselves even before we submit a proposal. When we do go to submit that proposal, at fifth step, we're just going to follow directions. Grants are actually pretty easy. Um, all we have to do is follow the directions. They're very clear directions, and just follow them, and we might have a successful proposal. So we have our grant proposal written. We're going to use some editors. We're going to have some extra eyes on that proposal. It's going to take a while to put that proposal together, and I want extra eyes on it because I've been staring at it for hours on end. I want someone external to edit that and critique it. Then after our proposal is submitted, we're going to follow up with our funding sources. And overall, we're just going to be persistent. It's going to take time. Grants might not be funded on the first go round, so we're just going to be persistent. And so let's get into these individual steps one by one and what they entail. First, we're going to identify our project or our program that we want to have funded. So when we're submitting a grant proposal, we're just not asking for $50,000 or $100,000 or $1,000,000 just to do something with. We need a strong vision, something, a very clearly defined project, clearly defined program. So what are we looking to fund? Our funders are going to want to know that very clearly. And then does that program, does that project have any community benefit? Does it have any organizational benefit? So is it a new program to help your frequent flyers, to help maybe the Medicare population in your community, or maybe it's a grant proposal to fund the purchase of new equipment, which might have a community benefit, but is more of an organizational benefit. So just the first step is what are we looking to fund and what types of benefits or where are those benefits going to be going. Our second step is to research our potential funders. So we have a project or program in mind. So we have to go out and find potential funders and whether or not that program, the project will match our funders and their priorities. So a few different kind of broad categories of grant funding can come from government, foundations, or even corporations, corporate partners. For governments, a couple links here for you. They're linked in Blackboard for you as well, because I don't think you can just click on this video here. So go into Blackboard, click on those links. One is grants.gov. That is a huge database of every federal grant that's out there. Everything from mining operations in Antarctica to researching swallow flight patterns, right? So there are tons and tons of federal grants out there. If you want to be a little bit more specific, there's HRSA, the Health Resources and Services Administration, healthcare, healthcare focused. So lots of HRSA grants out there. So a couple links in Blackboard for you to go check those out and kind of peruse good search engines within both of those websites. There are lots of foundations out there as well. Just highlighted a couple big ones, one the Golden Leaf Foundation and the Kate B. Reynolds Charitable Trust. So both foundations here in North Carolina that are very, very active and give away millions of dollars every year. So large foundations, and they fund a number of programs. On the corporate side, you can reach out to corporate partners. Zoll is one I want to highlight for you. Zoll has a number of grants or gives out a number of grants every year, more specifically for purchase of their equipment. So if you're looking for new monitors or new automated CPR devices, mechanical CPR devices, you can apply for a Zoll grant. So those are corporate grants. So a couple or a few different pathways for finding your grants. Either come through government agencies, foundations, or corporations. Now, as you're researching your potential funders, please do your homework. Just don't pick one because it's at the top of the web page and go with let's say the Kate B. Reynolds Charitable Trust. Just don't pick one and go with it. We really need to match our program, our project with the funders' priorities. So if our program isn't a priority for the funder, the grant is never going to be funded and we've just wasted a lot of time. So that really one of the first things we need to do is identify our funding sources by priority type, and does that funder priority match our program? A third step is a pretty simple one, but often overlooked. So just communicating within our own organization. So which stakeholders within our organizations or ancillary organizations should be involved in this. So should we be going to a city or county commissioners and getting their input? For EMS organizations, should we be talking to emergency management or maybe other emergency services, fire department, police that might be able to give us some insight or give us some help in this grant writing process? Even our finance department, finance and budgeting departments. If you're a county or city agency, you definitely have a finance budgeting department. Here at the university, we have an entire office dedicated to grants. So if I am writing a grant, I've got lots of help on the back end of things with different offices. So maybe that finance and budget office can give you a lot of help when you are writing this grant and preparing certain parts of the grant. So internally, can we partner with stakeholders within our organizations to better this grant and make it a more robust proposal? After we've networked and spoken within our own organization, we should network and speak with the potential funders that we've identified. And this is before we've submitted a proposal. Maybe it's before we even start writing the proposal. Maybe we're in the middle of writing the proposal, but we're going to reach out to funders. Just reach out to them, introduce yourself, put your name kind of on their map, and ask questions. So, what are these funders looking for? And even just calling up, let's say the Kate B. Reynolds Charitable Trust, and talking to an administrative assistant is wonderful. You're going to get a lot of good information. What are they seeking to highlight? What do they want you to highlight? What are they looking to fund? Even little tips and tricks. So you can just ask for any tips for me while we're writing this proposal, and 98% of the time they're going to tell you because these foundations or corporations or government agencies offering these grants, they are looking to give money out. So they want good proposals coming in. They don't want to waste their time. So even if you just ask a couple good questions, what are you looking for? What are some tips for successful proposals? They're going to tell you this isn't an exam. This isn't a test. This isn't any essay question type of deal. They're looking for good proposals. They want good proposals coming in, so they're going to give you the information. But all you have to do is reach out, put your name on their map, and ask some questions. So now we're ready to really get into the grant proposal and start really grant writing. And our next step is going to be just to follow the directions. It sounds simple, but don't get too creative. Don't try to guess what the funders are really kind of looking for. Don't add any flair to it. Just follow the directions. On top of your standard proposal, within their directions, they might require a cover letter. And that's just a one-page, quick cover letter introducing yourself, your organization, what you're about, what you want to do, what your program is, maybe a couple key outcome measures for your program, and the amount of money you're asking for. Um, if they ask for an executive summary, it might be a little bit more in depth than a cover letter. So it's all about following those directions. But these proposals might ask you for some sort of summary in the form of either a cover letter and or an executive summary. Um, so executive summaries might be one page, might be two page. Again, getting just a brief overview of your organization, your project, and what you're seeking to accomplish. Once you get into writing the proposal itself, probably pretty standard outline for proposals. Again, just follow the directions, but this is a pretty standard outline for most proposals. I'm going to ask for some sort of introduction, introducing your organization, introducing the project that you are proposing, how it fits into your organization. So what is your organization doing, and what does it seek to do? It's going to be some sort of problem statement next. So we are seeking to fund this project, fund this program to fix a problem or a potential problem. So without a problem, there is no solution. So it needs to be a problem. Set it up in such a way that when your funders are reading this grant proposal, they can see that your proposed program is going to impact a problem. So we definitely want an impact, and that's what the funders are looking for is as what kind of impact are we going to make, and we can't make an impact without some sort of problem in the community. After that, our goals and objectives. We're proposing this program. Well, we have to have some objectives to that program. What are the outcomes? What are we looking for? What is this program going to do for our community? And these objectives, these goals, have to be measurable. You know, we can write goals and objectives all day long that are really ambiguous and broad. Right? So if I institute a reading program and my objective is to make kids read better, that's not really measurable. But if my program is to institute a reading program that increases reading comprehension in fourth graders by 15%, then that is very measurable. So I've got an objective that at the end of this program, in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, I've got something I can measure. And it's just not, well, the kids are reading better. So going from ambiguous to measurable, we want these goals and objectives to be measurable. Next section would be our methodology section. So I've got this program, this reading program for elementary school kids. Well, how am I going to institute this program? What goes into this program? What am I doing? So the objective is to increase reading comprehension in fourth graders. How am I going to do that? So this kind of gets into the meat and potatoes of your program. What are we doing, and how are we accomplishing those objectives? After we institute a program, we've got our objectives. We've rolled out this program. After year 1, year 2, year 3, how are we evaluating it? So I need to know how we are measuring and how we are evaluating. So if I want to increase reading comprehension by 15%, how am I measuring reading comprehension? How am I operationalizing reading comprehension? Are we evaluating that with a test? Are we evaluating that with maybe an essay or having our fourth graders write a little paper, a little 1 page, 3 paragraph paper, something like that. So how are we evaluating? Most grants are going to require some sort of budget information. So you're asking for $100,000. That's just not a blanket check that your funders are going to give you. They want to know where that $100,000 is going. So how much is going to personnel costs? How much is going to supplies, perhaps? How much is going to, maybe you need to pay for an evaluation. Maybe you need to contract out for a program evaluator to come in and evaluate. So of that, let's say $100,000 coming in, where is that going? So we're asking for a specific amount of money, and your funders are going to want to know how that money is broken down and how that money is going to be spent. And then that last one, those appendices. Most grants are going to require some number of appendices, just extra information that they'll want. That's going to depend on the funder themselves, and it's going to depend on the grant itself. So just pay attention to those appendices and what extra information they're going to want. Do they want information on your organizational budget year to year? Do they want um, information on maybe health outcomes for your community? What extra information do they want? So when you get into your proposal, and we're writing our proposal, these are pretty standard sections to be writing. So be prepared to write these sections, and then pay attention to those extra appendices that your funder might want. All right, so we have written our proposal. We've taken all that time. We've put everything together. Everything is good to go. Before you hit that submit button, before you send that out, we're going to use some editors, just external people, external eyes, making sure that we actually follow directions. Sometimes we're going to spend a lot of time on this, and sometimes it's just easy to skip over a section completely, or skip over an appendix completely. So we just need extra eyes on this, saying, yes, you followed all the directions, all the pieces are here, you're not missing any piece, and then looking through spelling and grammar, because those errors are just killers. When a funder is looking to send out grant money to fund projects, and they've got 100 projects coming in, easy way to weed out programs and projects is to look at, did they follow directions? Is it put together well? Are there spelling errors? Are there grammatical errors? And any problems with those, they'll just send it straight to the trash can, because they've got 100 more applications to go through, and they need to use their time efficiently. Those external editors, external eyes, can also make sure that not only are you not missing any sections, but are those sections clear? So reading through those sections, do they answer the questions that they should be answering? Is it, and are those sections just clear and easy to read? Are we avoiding industry jargon? So we're sending these grants out to foundations and readers who have no idea what EMS is or does, um, or the jargon within our industry. So we're in it every day. We know our abbreviations, we know our jargon. This is not a time to use abbreviations or jargon. Um, we need to spell everything out. We need to explain everything clearly. So avoid industry jargon, because you're going to have you're going to have an accountant, you're going to have a lawyer, um, you're going to have someone completely outside of healthcare or completely outside of our industry reading this grant proposal and deciding whether to fund it or not. So we need to avoid our jargon. We also need to use action verbs and not passive verbs. So um, grant proposals need to be very active. We're doing something, we're impacting the community. So seek out those action verbs and use action verbs heavily, because that really makes a statement and creates a story for you within your proposal. And then lastly, our editors are really good at looking at the layout that we've chosen for this proposal. Most grants, at least foundation and corporate grants, don't really define a layout that you have to use. Federal grants usually do, but your foundation grants just request for a proposal. You submit your proposal, but we need to make sure that the layout is easy to read, easy to follow. It's not too busy. It's not too creative with gold stars all over the place. So our editors, our external eyes, do a really good job at saying, hey, this layout, it's a little bit too busy. It's kind of hard to follow. After we've submitted our proposal, so we've written it, gone through all that time and effort, and we've got it double checked, and we are ready to submit, and we've submitted it. Now we need to follow up with our funding organizations. So typically what we recommend is 2 weeks after we submit the proposal is to follow up with the funder. Give them a call. It's best to give them a call instead of an email. Emails are pretty easy to ignore. Phone calls to an organization, they're going to pick up the phone. Someone's going to pick up the phone. So give them a call 2 weeks after the submission. This serves a couple purposes. So it keeps your proposal and your name on their radar, on their map. If the proposal is missing anything, you can ask if they got all the information, and they say, let me pull that up for you real quick. Oh no, we're missing Appendix C. You can go, oh well, shit. Okay, let me send you Appendix C real quick. So it can avoid missing sections just in case you overlook something. So keeps your name um, and your proposal on their mind, and avoids sometimes any missing sections that have been overlooked. The last step, which is not necessarily a step, but more of an overall attitude during this entire process, is just to be persistent. So grant proposals take a lot of time, so expect to take maybe 40 to 80 hours preparing a grant proposal, depending on the grant itself and how much information the funder wants from you. So it's going to take a little bit of time. And then after you submit a grant, it might not be funded, and that's fine. What we're going to do is just follow up with the funder if we're not funded, and we can ask for feedback. Again, these funders want to give away this money. They want to fund good projects, so oftentimes they'll give you really good feedback as to why you weren't funded. And then you can even ask if there's an opportunity for resubmission. So maybe they didn't fund you for some small reason that is easily fixed. Maybe something wasn't clear in your proposal, and you can write that section just a little bit better, a little bit more clearly, and you can resubmit. So maybe you're still within the funding window, and they'll allow for resubmission. So that's a grant writing process. It's going to take some time, and we really need to pay attention. If you want to boil all this down into one phrase, it's just follow directions. So we know what our program is. We know where we want to go for funding. We know who we want to include within our organization. We just need to follow directions, get some external eyes on it to edit and make sure that everything is clear, everything is included, and then we need to keep our name and our project on the minds and on the radar of our funders. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or cuss words, please feel free to let us know.